Hi, I'm Chris Saunders, Principal Engineer on the Experience team at Let's Do This. AI lets me build things in hours that used to take weeks. With our agents, we've been taking these capabilities and giving them to you. We've already brought a lot of this to organisers, but now it's time to improve participants' lives as well. So I'm pleased to introduce you to Experience Agent 1.0. We built this agent to help with a pile of questions in race week, parking, injuries, start times, in every language your participants speak. Even with a specialised team, most of the race week goes on the same handful of questions, over and over. We wanted to take these repetitive questions off your plate so you can spend more time on the really meaningful interactions. For this walkthrough, we're going to be Racecraft, an event organiser based in California. Their flagship event, the Summer Run Fest, is a few weeks away. 18,000 participants have signed up, a good chunk of them international, and the inbox is starting to fill up. In the next few minutes, we'll set the agent up, we'll point it at your existing content, we'll watch a participant use it, and then we'll close the loop on anything it didn't know. Let's get into it. We'll start by giving the agent a bit of personality. Colour, logo, style that matches the rest of our site. Participants never leave our event page when talking to it, so it needs to feel like part of the experience and not something that's just bolted on. Once we're happy, we'll save it. Great, that's saved. Now let's give it something to talk about. We don't want to build and maintain a separate knowledge base, so instead we point the agent to the site we already have, the same page as our participants are reading right now. Any changes to our public-facing content get reflected in the agent's answers without us having to do anything else. It scans through everything, and it gives us a read on what it can confidently answer. There's no guessing what we need to cover. The agent has a clear list of what it needs to know about, and it tells us exactly where the gaps are in advance. Looking at this, we're doing pretty well. There's one gap worth flagging, around aid stations on the course. But otherwise, we've got it covered. We'll come back to that though. First, let's see what this looks like for a participant. Here we are on our event page, and there's the widget right there. Let's start with something we know the agent can handle. I've had an unexpected injury and I can't get to the event. What are the options? You can watch it work through the content it has and put together an answer. It finds the right policy, but what I really like is the tone. It's not just correct, it's kind, it's thoughtful. It reads the situation, and it knows when to stick to the rules and when to lean into a bit of empathy. Let's try something a little harder. One of our participants is writing in French. Salut, à quelle heure est-ce que je dois arriver pour récupérer mon dossier? We were surprised the first time we saw a participant ask a question in a different language. The agent wasn't. It just answers in French like it's the most natural thing in the world. And finally, let's check the case we set up earlier, aid stations. What aid stations are available on the course? The agent doesn't know the answer. What I love about this, though, is what it doesn't do. It doesn't guess. It doesn't make something up that sounds plausible. It says it doesn't know, and it gives the participant the option to talk to a human who can give them the care they need. For us, this was non-negotiable. The worst thing an agent can do is confidently tell someone the wrong thing on race week. And if a participant wants to talk to a human, they easily can. That's one conversation. On event week, there'll be hundreds every day. So let's open up the inbox and see how we'll deal with this. Here's the conversation we just had, and there's a lot of others alongside it. You'll notice it's automatically translated it into our language so that we can read everything in one place. You can see escalated conversations or anything else we need to care about at a glance. But reading through all of these by hand would take just as long as answering them ourselves, which kind of defeats the point. So the agent does that for you as well. While you sleep, it reads through every conversation and it looks for patterns. Here's what it's found. There's lots of conversations about water bottles. Injury questions are being handled really well. And here you are, aid stations, the gap we spotted earlier, now broken down as a theme of questions. For each gap, it suggests the content you need to add, ready to drop into your site. So let's add that. Fantastic. And once that's been added, it'll automatically sync again, or we can trigger it ourselves. And we can see as a result, the gap's now closed. And if we look at our overall summary, it's now confident in everything that we need to know about. Let's see how race week went overall. And there you are. 4,000 participants getting a personal response in their own language in the channel they wrote in from. Each one handled with empathy and the level of care they deserve. And because the agent took the repetitive volume, the team got to be where they actually wanted to be, on the start line, saying hello to the participant who flew in from Osaka. And that's the demo. We've themed the agent, we've added our content, we've tested it in the field, and we've fixed any issues that happened immediately afterwards. But what really matters is whether you can trust this on a race week. And so far, we're seeing exactly that. We have an 85% resolution rate and a 93% CSAT score. More excitingly, last week, a participant rang the organizer up, not with a complaint, but to tell them how much they liked talking to the agent. Honestly, given how important all of this is, reading this kind of message is easily the best part of my day. And that's Experience Agent 1.0. But the Experience Agent is the start of something bigger for us. We're heading towards giving every participant their own agent through the whole journey, supporting them in training, encouraging them on race week, waiting at the finish line with a personalized message from you. This is the future of personalized comms. Thank you for watching. If you want to see this on your own event, we'd love to talk to you.